So maybe this needs to go out to the young dads out there or to the guy who doesn't have children yet. I don't know. But maybe this is the voice from the future who stopped by to tell you that being a father is hard. Yo, it is hard. It is by far one of the hardest things that I have ever done. I became a dad when I was 24 years old. I'm double that now. I'm double that. And I have four beautiful children. Four beautiful children, all at different points in their life. I have a 8-month-old son. Yeah, I think he's 8 months. See, that's what I'm saying. A 3-year-old daughter, a 15 and a half year old daughter, and a 20-year-old son. And each one of them requires something different that's catered to their personality and to their needs. And while they have great mothers, two of them, only two, let's not get carried away here. One I was married to, that didn't work out, and then I married the next. Not a whole lot of baby mamas over here. Outside of them, there is a heavy leaning on of the dad and what I need to provide for them. Now, we've been told this silly little lies about, man's job, as long as he's providing, everybody's okay. Not in this day and age. Not in the TikTok era. Not in the era where they can get all of their influence and information from social media. You don't have the ability to just be hands off. You got to be hands on. And the presence of a man in their life is vital. And so each and every stage requires a different piece of me. And I'll tell you, man, this is not as though we go looking for a whole lot of thank you and pats on the back, but a lot of times it's a thankless job, and we get tired, we get exhausted. Sometimes you feel like, yo, I can't do this. I want to quit. And some men do quit. They're just like, I'll just let your mother handle that, making that mistake. But it's hard. It's especially hard for men who did not have a whole lot of examples on what fatherhood is, what a father does. My fathers, I had a biological father and a bonus dad, as we now call them. Two very different, unique individuals. Now, I'll just focus on the assets that they did have. We won't highlight all the negatives because that's what we know how to do too. But my bio dad, very fun, loving, charismatic guy, always full of adventure, always wanted you to meet other family members, real core, hard family values, mover, shaker, knew how to hustle, knew how to make things happen. We never starved. That wasn't going to happen. My bonus dad, very hard worker. He got that provider thing down packed. And he took on the weight of, committing to raising children that he did not give birth to. And I commend him for that. Now, I think where both of them struggled at was with emotional availability, mental toughness and resilience, faith and spirituality. Those elements, they were not really given much to them, so they didn't have a whole lot to give to me. So there was a bit of a gap. I won't just call it a deficit. There was a bit of a gap. And so getting those types of teachings and support, that had to come from somewhere else. I got a lot of the spiritual and faith component from different mentors and figures that came in my life, but the emotional part, that came way later, well into adulthood, where I had to pull apart pieces and pieces from there, pieces from there. And it's hard. It was hard. It was hard. I made a lot of mistakes along the way. That reality, not having the greatest of examples, now trying to pull pieces together, has been quite the challenge for me. And for a long time, I did not have the tools for my children, especially my firstborn. I was we just gonna figure this thing out. I knew I had love and I had commitment. I was gonna quit. I was gonna leave them, but I did not have the emotional tools available for him. So he struggled. There's things that I still see him having a challenge with today. I was not as available as I would have liked to be. And when you try to dip out of the emotional bag and just jump into the provider bag, you're not always fully present. And I was not. And so he at the top felt that. And so when the sister came along, there was a lot of overcompensation. I'm gonna try and be as available as possible to her, but still not giving him as much as what he needed. Now, slide in some divorce and breakup. That just shattered my ideas and dreams of how I thought this thing was gonna end because it didn't go that way. So that was hard. I think a couple of things that I've learned along the way as a father is that you have to commit to a lifetime of learning. A lifetime of learning. Once you identify that there's some things that I don't have, you have to now commit to going to find those things. You have to commit. You have to educate yourself. You have to invest in yourself. You have to do it. The next thing I realize is that it's okay to be honest about your failures or bring those out. Like, yo, I'm struggling trying to figure this out. We're gonna figure it out, but right now it's hard. And there's some things that we can do, some things we can't do. But I promise you that I'll be here. There's a level of transparency that I think that we often skip out on as fathers. What we always have to present that we have it together, that we always have a plan, that sometimes we don't. So it's okay. The third thing is learning to love yourself accordingly. Mm-hmm. Learning to love yourself. When you learn to love yourself, then modeling the love becomes easier. And I want my children to know how to be good lovers, lovers of themselves and lovers of others, but also one individuals who receive the love of God. Because quite frankly, it was him loving me that helped me to love myself. And then I learned to start loving others. Now, I'm not perfect in that regard. There's still areas of improvement that I would love to hit. I haven't hit yet, but love of yourself. Learning to love yourself better. That means not killing yourself, not abusing yourself, not self sabotaging. You gotta love yourself, taking care of yourself, your mental health, your body, your, your rest time. All of those things are important too. You gotta love yourself. And the last big lesson that I learned is you gotta forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not meeting the mark, making these mistakes. Forgive yourself and then course correct. After I've made some mistakes, don't keep making excuses about those mistakes. Forgive yourself, get back up, and get back out there and do what you need to do. Forgive yourself. Don't make excuses saying, oh, well, I didn't have a dad, so that's why I didn't. No, nobody wants to hear that. It can be true, but let it just be true for you. But forgive yourself for the stuff that you've done wrong, and then make it a point to do better. And then do what you got to do. 100%. 100%. It's hard, though. It's going to be hard, but you can do it. You got this.